COVID news, a new study from China shows that those who are asymptomatic don't spread the coronavirus. This study showed that after a lockdown, there was no transmission of the SARS-CoV-2 virus among people who were in close contact with those who are asymptomatic. Now, this runs against the narrative that is that asymptomatic people are spreading the virus all over the place, which is the rationale that's used, the justification for shutting down travel, shutting down businesses, depriving people of their livelihoods, and compelling us to wear masks when we're out in public, and in some cases, even in our own homes. According to this new study from China, it's just not happening. And in Europe, former Pfizer Vice President and Scientific Director Dr. Michael Yeadon and German lung specialist Dr. Wolfgang Wodark have filed an application with the European Medicine Agency calling for the immediate suspension of SARS-CoV-2 vaccine trials, particularly the Pfizer study. On the one hand, they see the known inaccuracy of the PCR test means that neither the risk of the disease nor the efficacy of the vaccine can be determined with any accuracy. That's kind of important. Also, they say there's some potential risks from the vaccine that have not been properly evaluated because this has been rushed to market. We don't have a long-term study to show any potential long-term negative side effects. They point to the formation of so-called non-neutralizing antibodies that can lead to an exaggerated immune response, which can be potentially dangerous. They also point out that the vaccines are expected to produce antibodies to the spike proteins of SARS-CoV-2. However, spike proteins also contain syncytin homologous proteins. That's important because those are essential for the formation of the placenta in mammals, including women, which means it could potentially sterilize women who take the vaccine. We don't know because we've not seen long-term studies yet because it's been rushed to market. But this is not slowing a disturbing trend toward compelling the vaccine. Besides travel requirements, Qantas, the Australian airline, already saying international travelers will have to prove they've been vaccinated. There are some business groups now saying that they will support a vaccine requirement to return to work. Jay Timmons, CEO from the National Association of Manufacturers, said if the vaccine is required by member companies, they would support those companies implementing vaccination requirements. And sadly, people might be desperate enough to go along with it. A new survey shows that 82% of Americans say that if they were hit with an emergency costing them $500 or more, they wouldn't have the cash on hand to deal with it. 27% say they've taken on more than $10,000 in new debt since the COVID crisis began.